One of the first things that DevOps teams will do when they form is to implement a continuous integration strategy. But why would they do that, and what is continuous integration? Well, continuous integration is a process that's used to integrate code changes into an active project. Okay, but that sort of muddies the water a little bit. Let's be clear here. Continuous integration is an automated process that retrieves code, builds it, and prepares it for testing and deployment. In fact, in a lot of cases, DevOps teams will include testing in the continuous integration phase. So imagine you have code in a code repository, like Git. A continuous integration process would automatically trigger when new code is added to the code repository. The code is compiled or built, and then a battery of tests are run against that code to validate that it's doing what it's supposed to do. So, continuous integration enables quicker validation and preparation of software updates. The automated transition from code to validated and releasable software is vastly improved with continuous integration. Now, in the automation world of DevOps, it's hard to talk about continuous integration without also talking about continuous delivery. Okay, so we know what continuous integration is, but what's continuous delivery? Well, you can probably already guess from the name what continuous delivery is all about. But let's talk about it anyway. Continuous delivery expands upon the practices put in place with continuous integration. Specifically, continuous delivery automatically deploys the code changes that were built and tested during the continuous integration phase. So this includes new features, configuration changes, and bug fixes. So DevOps team member adds new code to the repository, continuous integration builds and tests that code, and then the compiled software is handed over to the continuous delivery phase where it's automatically deployed to the needed environments. The goal of continuous delivery is to speed up development, reduce risks and costs, and do all of that without jeopardizing the quality. And that can be achieved because continuous delivery deploys your software the same way every single time. But DevOps includes lots of other responsibilities besides just building and deploying code. There is also monitoring the deployment. So during the planning phase of any new product, DevOps teams ask themselves what needs to be monitored, why, and how they might go about doing that. Things that get monitored can even include business related metrics like user engagement, for example. Then, during development, the DevOps team will build the necessary mechanisms to produce metrics that can be monitored. Integration itself can be monitored. We want to make sure that the code is being built properly and that there's no issues with the code compilation process. And of course, we want to monitor our tests. If testing produces failures, we want to know about that, and we certainly want to make sure that that code doesn't make it out into production. Even deployment is monitored. Did the software deploy? And if it did deploy, is it working like it's supposed to? And finally, DevOps teams will perform all the usual monitoring that an operations team would. So this includes making sure that the system resources are where they should be and that the entire environment is functioning properly.